Ousseni Bouda, the freshman, finding some space and then sending the whistler that just goes off of Gabe Segal's head, giving Stanford a 1-0 lead that, as it turned out, it would not relinquish.
So I was born in the capital city, Ouagadougou. It's right at the center of the country. It's very busy. And from the time I was able to walk, I started playing soccer. I would come outside all day, just play with friends, only come back home to eat. Just started playing on the streets, and that was what I did every day for fun. I was always a market kid. Both parents work in the market, in the local market. My dad works in the goats, cows business, which was good. So we always had meat at home. It's you do learn a lot as a kid being around there, and it was just every day. That was just my life every time until I was, old enough to go to school. I actually didn't like school when I was younger. Just wanted to play on the streets. At recess, we were playing soccer. After school, we were playing soccer. Before school, we were playing soccer. But my mother worked really hard to pay for me to go to a good school. I had to get good grades to be allowed to play soccer. And that was sort of our deal that we had. And whenever my grades were not good, she would stop me from playing and take my cleats away. The relationship with the parents and the teachers is very different from parents and teachers in the US, for example. Whereas my mother would come to school and tell my teacher, make sure he's paying attention in class and gets good grades. Otherwise, you can punish him. It could involve, doing some squats, or kneeling, or maybe creeping you. It could be a bit violent sometimes, but that's the thing. It's the African culture. It's very different from other places. It sort of just kept me in line. In a way, it was sort of the way they show love to you. I was looking up to so many players when I was young. I was looking up to Eto'o when he was at Barcelona, the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo. During African Cup of Nations, we would watch Ivory Coast or our national team and see Didier Drogba there playing. To me, that was like, this is the dream. This is what I want to do in life, My mother had never seen me play, but people that came to buy stuff at her place in the market would always be like, are you that kid's mother and stuff? And then they would ask her to be like, yeah, your kid is very good. And my dad started coming to watch games, and then that's when he actually bought me my first pair of cleats. To choose the specific time, I realized that soccer was gonna be my main thing, that I really wanted to do that. Probably be around 9, 10-ish. People watch soccer everywhere, even little kids, the big kids. I had random people who would give me gifts, buy me cleats and stuff, and then I would get free stuff in the markets as well, because some of the guys will come watch. So that was pretty cool, and that's about the time that I started getting calls from a bunch of different academies. It would have meant that I would have to quit school and just focus on soccer. And for an African parent, that hasn't happened. I think also she just didn't want to let her 10-year-old leave home. That's very young. But back then I didn't see that. I thought I was supposed to be the next Eto'o. So I kept playing around, kept going to school, being disappointed and thinking that I lost opportunities, until one day I got a call from my coach telling me that there is a soccer academy from Ghana called the Right to Dream Academy, and they're coming the next morning for a tryout, and they're going to take about one kid, and they're going to do that the entire country and probably choose one person. So I told my coach I'm coming, but then I forgot that school starts the following day. It's literally the first day of school. I'm caught in between these two choices, and at some point I was like, I'm just going to leave. So I just got up and left class in the middle of class. And I went, picked my bike up and rode really fast. The whole time I was like, I don't know if this is even worth it. And but this might be the one chance. So I got there, and then the tryout was over. My age group was done playing already. So I was crying, I was sitting on the ground crying, and my coach came, tapped me on the shoulder, and was like, don't worry, since you made the effort and came here, I'm gonna let you play with the big boys. So bear in mind, I'm like 10. 10 and a half, and I'm asked to play against kids that are like 17, 18. So we kept playing, and every time after every game, they would reduce the numbers, and they kept doing that over and over again, and then in the end, I was the last one to be picked, which was big. I went home, didn't tell my parents, because my mom would know that I skipped school. And then later on, a couple months later, turned 11, and we got a call, and they asked me to come to Ghana. And then my mom steps in right after the call. She was like, "You're not leaving. There's no way you're leaving school." So there was a whole argument in the house for days about whether I should go or not. And then they reached a conclusion that my dad should follow and go to Ghana and check the school at Right to Dream, see if they have any school at all. It's kind of funny because now I'm sitting at Stanford University, arguably the best school in the whole world. And my mom didn't want me to go to Right to Dream Academy because she didn't think there was a school there. Right to Dream has a strong connection with boarding schools in the US, and every year those who qualify for it get selected and come to the US, and then others will take the pro route and go straight to the pros. And the American route really attracted me. Started reading more, meeting a lot of foreigners, and like my eyes started to open up a little bit more. When I first joined the Right to Dream Academy, I wanted to be a professional soccer player by the time I was about 18. And then I got the opportunities to go on tours to Europe with Right to Dream, to go play and stuff. And I just started just understanding more what the world is like. And I was doing really well in school, so I was like, I can really come here and then go to a top university, get a world-class education, and then go play professional soccer. So I got the opportunity to come to New York and join the Millbrook School, a private boarding school. Amazing experience. Probably the best thing that I got out of the Right to Dream Academy is the character program. You literally have classrooms where you're talking about your character, what it means to have integrity, what it means to have self-discipline, what it means to be a leader, to be a role model. You know, just helping us come up with our ideas in the ways that we want to give back to our communities, once we make it. Studying role models, African role models, and the way they're giving back to their countries and stuff, like the likes of George Weah, for example, who is a big role model for me. One-time best player in the world as an African, and he's the president of his country right now. This is like the top of the top. It helped me and translated into my game, my soccer game, and in school as well, because you just all of a sudden you have a motivation because you have a goal, you have a purpose in life now. You want to do well so you can help other people, help your family, and then you want to be great. So when I was 10, 11, I had to adjust to a different culture, a different language, moving from Burkina Faso to Ghana. But this time, this was an even bigger culture shock. One thing that I was very surprised by was how ignorant people were of what Africa is like. The only thing they know about Africa is maybe the parents told them, don't waste your food because you know, there's kids in Africa starving or something. And that's the only thing they knew. In the beginning, I just didn't know what it means to be black in America. So there were a lot of things that I just didn't understand. Growing up in Africa, where pretty much almost everybody is black, you really don't even know that you're black. It's just life. Everybody's like that. Then all of a sudden, I'm in the US now, and I feel different. Over the years, I'm starting to understand more and why this person was saying this, why the whole system is designed in a way, why I was struggling in this case and stuff. And I have personally faced, you know, heard some opponents call me the N-word, or my teammates. For example, there were cases of my teammates overreacting, as they would say. They overreacted even though they went and told the referee, and the referee just ignored it, and my teammates ended up getting red cards at tournaments and stuff. Being younger, I was like, oh, I don't want to get a red card, so I'm not going to react as well, even though I was being racially abused. The system is set in place to be against, you know, in favor of more white people, to say. And that's the difference, the biggest difference, because in Africa everybody's black, everybody's the same, and then in the US you feel you're a minority, which is a different feeling for sure. Coming in as a soccer athlete was helpful because right away my teammates were my best friends from the get-go. I would meet my friends, my teammates, their parents, and they were very helpful. They would take me home on Thanksgiving or on Christmas breaks and stuff. And everybody was just nice there, and it made the transition smoother. And then I was very fortunate to have an advisor at school who in the beginning was supposed to just be helping me, giving me advice, help me navigate what school is like and stuff. And now he's like my host dad. He's one of the people that are having like the biggest impact in my life right now. I live with him, live with his family now. They've just sort of almost adopted me. If I said that I really struggled a lot, despite it being a bigger culture shock, it would be a lie.
For the whole field, sent to Ousseni. And he's one-on-one with coaches. Can he finish? Yes, he can.
Coming to the US was a different experience in terms of soccer. I wasn't surrounded anymore with all these kids who came from the different areas in Africa that were so good. Playing in my high school team, I had to work really hard, set my own standards. Doing very well was different for me than my teammates. So I felt like I had to work harder than everybody else. I had to score more goals than everybody else, and I had to help my team win more games and all that. So everything mattered, every shot matters. And in the off season, I was working hard every time, going to the gym, and I was very small, so I wanted to get bigger and faster because I wanted to go to the best university, best soccer university. And at the time when I was in high school, Stanford was winning the championships every year. They won 3 years in a row. So I wanted to come to Stanford because of that reason. And the academics was amazing. So by the time I was a junior, it took me by surprise that I ended up winning the Gatorade National Soccer Player of the Year, which is the award given to the best high school soccer player in the whole country.
And now Ousseni beats Hassel. Ousseni in, and he buries it on coaches. Number 2 for Bouda.
I was scoring a lot of goals in high school. I think I currently have the record in my high school for most single season goals, which was 61 goals, and most career goal, which is 156 goals. Colleges started coming in, and interest from pro clubs started coming in, how to remain grounded. I think my recruitment process while I was in high school, I could have approached it better because I'm a perfectionist. I remember my host family used to tell me it's a good problem to have, having a lot of colleges want you to come. And then I went on visits to a bunch of different schools and liked them and all, and there are some great programs in the country, but my heart was always at Stanford.
Good, so it looks like this. Go ahead, let me demonstrate with you.
Recruiting Stanford players is not the easiest thing because everybody wants to come here, but not everybody can get into Stanford as well. So those that end up getting into Stanford are really smart kids that work really hard. And the culture of Stanford is very different from anywhere else in the country. Stanford is very unique. We have our own culture, our own standards of playing, the time management. Sometimes you have to fly across the country to go play some games for an entire week. Then you might have to take some tests or some quizzes or exams on the road. This year we had to take exams during the College Cup on the day of our semifinals.
Ready? Let's do it.
It's very challenging, and that's the challenge that I really wanted, to come in and every time feeling like I'm being pushed to go past my limits, so every year I can keep improving and getting better.
Excellent work.
Nini's taught me so much about just working hard, and I think that coming from where he has, he's had to work for everything.
I'll say the best part about going to Stanford is the friends that I've made here. People from my dorm, people from classes, people from my team. My teammates, like my class is there's 7 of us and they're my best friends. And then we take classes together and meet people all around the country. And that's the coolest thing about Stanford because everybody's so smart and everybody is really cool in their own thing that they're doing. you always feel like you're learning from other people around here. There's always something, anybody you meet, there's something really cool about them that you really want to know. And so you're just in the bubble of just like learning experience, just like feeding off the energy of other people and their ideas, and it's really cool.
Bouda works by Mayaka, fires a shot.
I've learned to develop some other aspects of my game in this first year. Being in high school, I was mostly an attacking player, focused more on attacking, but now playing in college and at Stanford, it's the closest thing to the pro world. I'm learning to do my defensive duties, learning to play as a team with my teammates, everything that happens in the locker room, the team scouting, everything with preparation before games, dealing with injuries, you know, making the little sacrifices and the little choices, like eating right, sleeping well, and all that. Everything here is like, I learned to care more about these things, take good care of my body, train hard, and that's probably the biggest lesson I've learned here at Stanford in my first year. I would say I pride myself with being somebody who's unpredictable in most cases and can shoot really well with both feet as well. So I went back home for the summer, last summer, and got a call up to the under-20 national team. And I went there and trained with them and played some games. To be honest, I almost cried when I was standing there in line while the national anthem was going on, you know, with my hand on my chest. It's a feeling that I always wished to have when I was a kid, watching all these players on TV. And my parents were at the stadium, they were watching the game, and I could see my dad. He was very proud of me at the end of the game. And then I was just so excited and just running around everywhere and just like trying to give everything I have for my country, because at that moment it's just like you're playing for all the millions in the country, and that's a feeling that nothing else beats. It's such an honor, and I have very big goals with my national team. It would be really cool to have somebody like me that a lot of kids in Burkina Faso can look up to, because a lot of professional soccer players go tell some kids, stay in school, but they didn't stay in school. So how is the kid supposed to listen to them? I hope to change it up a little bit and start being a role model for some kids and really helping them thinking about their futures, because everybody thinks they're going to be the next Drogba or Eto'o. And then really help the community as well with the give back plans that I have in head. And being a national team player would definitely give me the platform to do that. I think it would be really cool to have an association of national team soccer players who play all over the world, because those are the ones that the kids are looking up to. And I was a kid and I was looking up to the national team players. And it would be cool if every athlete can use their platform to affect their community and make some changes in the kids' lives. And it doesn't necessarily need to take some money, but just going into the community and talking to the kids. I would just really love to redesign what it means to be a professional athlete in Burkina Faso. What they feed into the minds of the kids, which are the future of the country, is big time, and it can change the whole country forever. An ideal future is very tough for me to choose, because I would love a perfect future where I get everything that I'm working hard for. But of course, it's always ups and downs, and over time things change. But I want to play at the highest level possible. I want to be a professional soccer player, play for my national team, play for one of the biggest clubs in the world. At the same time, while I'm at Stanford, I want to make the most of the opportunity that I have here. I have two advices for young African players who want to be professional footballers in the future. And the first advice would be not to set limits on yourself. Always strive to improve every day and get better. And of course, being from Africa, where you don't have that many opportunities, doesn't mean that you should dream small. Always dream big and set new goals every time you knock them down, and be fearless. Set other goals as well and keep going. Just never be satisfied. And the second goal is to, of course, adapt to new cultures, but never change. Some of the values that you have as an African kid are what will take you the furthest. At the end of the day, it's those values that will make people like you, whether it's in the US or in Europe or wherever you end up going. Those core values make you who you are. So just never forget who you are, and don't let go of those values. Still, eat the African food when you get it, wear the African cloth when you can, go back home, visit family, always have some plans back home. Otherwise, you're lost.